I grew up as a military kid. My mother, my brother, and myself followed my father wherever he was assigned, and we finally settled down in Penryn, which is a town just outside of Sacramento. At age 24, I went into the Air Force, and I was commissioned in 1986 as a second lieutenant. After being honorably discharged, I decided I wanted to be a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration. During the running qualifications, my right foot just dropped like somebody pulled a pin, and I wasn't able to fully complete it running, but I was able to hop the rest of the way. This issue never resolved itself, but because of my attitude and performance, I was assigned a position as a diversion investigator with less physical requirements in 1999. After various treatments and tests, I was eventually diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2002. I continued to serve 13 more years with DEA. However, in 2015, I had to medically retire as my symptoms were beginning to get worse.
Mark and I have known each other since the 80s when he dated my sister in high school. And they didn't have a love connection, but they've stayed lifelong friends. My sister invited my daughter Katie and I over for dinner one night, and she invited Mark over also. When Mark walked in the door, he had sort of this cute Yoda walk. And when I saw him, that was it. It was a done deal, and we got married a year later. I kept reading and researching about MS, looking for a cure, a treatment. And the more I kept reading, the more I didn't think it was MS. The symptoms weren't matching up. We switched doctors and went to UC Davis, and when we walked in, the neurologist said, "I don't think you have MS." And in 2013, we got the new official diagnosis of ALS. It was really devastating. We started reading more about it and found out that 80% of people diagnosed with ALS die within 2 to 5 years, and 90% die within 10 years. The doctor said that although he will continue to physically decline, that his breathing will probably last another 50 years or so, and he will most likely pass away of old age, not ALS, and that's a huge relief.
They call it the glass coffin because you lose your ability to move or do anything, but you're still cognizant. You can still hear, you can still process, but there's just nothing you can do. It's just a devastating diagnosis. Knowing that I was going to lose my physical strength and abilities, I told myself I wasn't going to go down without a fight. When it eventually became time for me to get a wheelchair, we made sure to get one that would raise up and down to bar table height so we could enjoy a good night out with friends.
Once we found out that Mark was going to have a big power chair, we knew that we were going to have a van or something with mobility equipment. So I told him that I didn't really want a soccer mom van. What I wanted was a big, cool A-Team van. So we ended up getting a bright red Ford E350 van that we nicknamed Gus, short for humongous. The license plate frame on it even says, "Not your mama's van."
That van is pretty awesome. It's a four-wheel drive, V10, buck-stop bumper, huge winch, and people come up to us all the time and ask us if we're ready for the zombie apocalypse. We built our house to accommodate my condition. We built it all on one level, wider hallways, wider doors. We even put in electric drawers in our cabinets, and we also put electric blinds in our bedroom. Yeah, without all these modifications, it'd be a lot more challenging to live in this house.
The hardest thing for him to give up was riding his bicycle. We found a recumbent bike, and we're looking into that, but it was pretty expensive. Mark went to lunch with a friend of his and was telling him about it, and the friend decided to hold a fundraiser to raise the money so we can get Mark the recumbent bike, and we did. And although it's a struggle right now for him, he can still get on the bike occasionally and pedal. All we're trying really to do is to live a fun, happy, enjoyable life and to make Mark as comfortable as possible.
I'm currently not receiving any treatment for my type of ALS. because I have a very slow progressing type. I truly encourage people with ALS to participate in life. Go out there and do the things you love. We go to sporting events, concerts, go out with friends. We always say that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% your reaction. React good and life will be good. Having lived with ALS all these years, we're very thankful for all the support we've received from our family and our friends and from organizations like PVA, UC Davis Medical, the VA, and companies like Dutch Bros, who are helping find treatments and cures for ALS. So please come out to your local Dutch Bros on May 5th for Drink One for Dane Day, where proceeds from every drink will benefit the Muscular Dystrophy Association and help find a cure or treatment for ALS.